Hey guys, what I'd like to do for you all today is talk about the Noctua NH-P1. This is a brand new CPU cooler which Noctua announced today. But before I do that, I just want to show you that the glass panel for my Lee Dynamic XL is back. It is back. It's now on my PC. So for those of you who don't know, last month I accidentally smashed the glass panel on my PC. I clipped the end of the glass when I had it off, and it exploded all over my room. But I paid 50 bucks to Lee. They shipped a new glass panel all the way from Asia, and earlier today I removed the plastic and I put it onto my PC again. So all back to square one with that. My PC is looking good again. So the Noctua NH-P1. So this was emailed to me today and I saw it on social media as well. And you can see here, Noctua introduces the NH-P1, a passive CPU cooler, and the LS-PWM fan for semi-fanless systems. So the PWM obviously means that you can just control the speed of the fan. But really, the CPU cooler itself is fanless. This is just one big heatsink, one big massive heatsink. And what that means is that you can use this CPU cooler if you wish. If you use it without the optional fan, you can use this to build a system that has no fans at all. And that's not something that you normally see. You'll see laptops such as the Microsoft Surface that are fanless. Maybe it's like an i5 CPU, but you'll see fanless laptop systems, but you don't really see it with PCs. But that's something that could be possible with the Noctua NH-P1. Now, there's not a lot to go from here. They do tell you the price down here. It says that the manufacturer's suggested retail price is 109.9 euros or USD dollars. So my guess is going to be about £100 here in the UK. And it's about 30 euros, $30 for the optional fan. Now, it says that, if I can get it, it says here that this fan can cool an i9 11900K. Now, that's obviously a new CPU. That's one that came out earlier this year. It's an octa-core CPU, and you know, it's maybe not as impressive as the 5950X that I've got, but you know, for the price, it's not too bad. Now, if you check on the Noctua website, you'll see that it is compatible and it does work with that CPU, but it's compatible, but only if you use the optional fan. So it will work with that CPU, which is a top of the end, you know, top of the range CPU, but only if you use the optional fan, this Noctua NF-A12x25. But if you use it without the fan, it says here that the CPU might fall slightly below base clock under continuous full load. And it's the same story if I, you know, put it here with the 5950X. It's not going to cool it. It's not going to cool my 8700K either. So I've checked a few different CPUs with this, you know, using Noctua's CPU compatibility list, and it looks like this would be suitable for cooling a really good i5 or a lower end i7. But there's going to be a lot of i7 and i9 CPUs from Intel, and you know, the equivalent in the AMD world, where this just isn't going to cool it. But this is still a CPU cooler that fascinates me, and it's something that I would love to integrate into a PC build in the future, because yes, this thing is massive, and you know, it's a big CPU cooler. It's not a portable one like, you know, the one that I got for my old PC a few weeks ago. But with a fanless CPU cooler, and there are fanless CPU coolers out there already, but with a fanless CPU cooler, you don't have to worry about any noise from fans. You don't have to worry about any dust from fans. No dust, no noise. Now, I'm saying that with an asterisk because clearly if you look at the compatibility list, you can see that with a CPU that's got a TDP of 95 watts here, or even 125 watts, sorry. You know, with something with the i9 11900K CPU, you are going to have to use that optional CPU fan to keep it under control and cool your CPU. But there's going to be a lot of CPUs out there that can handle, that this CPU cooler can handle, and that's interesting. So I'm going to have to go through all, you know, the compatibility list, look at what CPUs actually work with this. But I do love the idea of this. I do love the idea of passive cooling, no fan noise, no dust, just a very simple system. And you know, excluding a GPU, there's going to be certain builds that you could use with this where you don't have any fans at all. That is attractive. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. I'll leave a link to the announcement here so you can check it out. Look into it yourself. Let me know what you think about this. I realise this is not a CPU cooler that's going to work in every build. I mean, it's quite a big CPU cooler. And generally, when you're building bigger PCs, you're using more powerful CPUs as well. So you might gravitate towards something else. But I do love the idea of no fan noise, no dust, and things like that. So let me know what you think about it. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.